Hello and welcome to Cool Coffee with Kansas Principals, a podcast by and for school administrators where principals are featured, discussion is candid, and insight on this great profession is shared. My name is Rick Sola, and as Communications Director for the Kansas Principals Association, I am the host, but I am certainly not the feature. Sit back, take a sip, and enjoy. This is Cool Coffee with Kansas Principals. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to Season 3 of Cool Coffee with Kansas Principals. I am here with our 2026-2027 KPA President, Ms. Kelly Whitaker, Principal of Ottawa High School, USD 290, big supporter of the show and frequent contributor. Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and it is fun to have you back on the show, and had the opportunity to see you back in May at the USA conference and here and there throughout the school year, but always great to connect with you and talking with you for the first time as our president of the Kansas Principal Association. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to share a little bit about that, but you've contributed and supported this show so much, and going all the way back to the interview episode, and I'm going to post all of your episodes in this show notes, but still one of my all-time favorite episodes was the interview episode where you and 3 other principals were just kind of sharing all your insight and secrets to the interview process. But you've done some principal perspectives and some other full features. And so again, just thank you for coming back on, sharing your voice to the principals of Kansas and to the principals beyond Kansas, as we do have some listenership beyond the state. So it is summer as we record this. It's officially, I guess, July 14th. I know you just recently got back from a trip. Had a little bit of a transition in one of our sister organizations, the NASSP, now the NPA. Where were you just a few weeks ago, or a week ago, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. So a week ago, I was able to travel with 2 other principals from Kansas, and we went to the National Principals Association Summit. And really what that was, it was a kickoff of the new organization. So I think educators and principals and administrators in Kansas are going to be really lucky because not only do you have the support of our Kansas Principals Association, but then hopefully they're getting involved nationally as well, and they're going to have a choice between 2 great organizations. You can be a member of the National Principals Association, which will represent all administrators K through 12, or you can join and continue to be a part of the National Association of Elementary School Principals, which will represent all of those principals pre-K through 8. And so it will be a great opportunity. I think there might be a lot of questions about why should I be in this organization or another, and we are working on putting together just what does MPA offer, what does NAESP offer, and really just leave that decision to our members.
Yeah, that's great. And actually, as we record this, the ESP, they're meeting at their national conference down in Orlando. I know our very own elementary principal of the year is down there. I've seen some pictures on social media with that. But yeah, love the idea of having some literature put out there for people to take a look, evaluate, and make a decision. And
absolutely,
a lot of really exciting things. So, again, I mentioned July 14th, but I don't know if you're back in the building yet officially, or if you still on contract, or what it looks like in Ottawa. You're sitting in your office. I see the look in your face like, yeah, I'm back. But, when we start a school year, there is just so much optimism in the air. Mm-hmm. What's got you really excited about the school year ahead, the 26-27 school year?
Absolutely. Well, I'm a 12-month employee, so other than my vacation time I'm always here. But I think that what gives me optimism going into the year is always the students and getting your new staff kind of acclimated with your building. I have a brand new activities director, so we're really excited to welcome him. His family just moved to Ottawa. They've been around the office kind of getting him settled, and he's been learning all the things about USD 290 and Ottawa High School. So I'm really excited about that. And then I really just think I'm very excited about serving as the president of our Kansas Principals Association. I'm a big believer in serving our profession. I believe in giving back to what we do and what we love for our students, and doing that through advocacy and through mentorship of other principals. And so I'm just excited to have that platform to be able to encourage our membership and just help each of us that are on the board of directors just grow as leaders throughout this next school year.
When you say serve profession, I'm going to put myself back as an early administrator, and to be totally candid on this podcast, very limited knowledge and understanding of what it meant, even just that phrase, serving the profession. If we've got some first or second year principals that might be feeling like they're drinking from the fire hose still, keeping their head above water. What recommendation or advice would you give to them as far as that coin of phrase, serving the profession, even when things are busy? How would you recommend that to them?
Absolutely. I think there's little things they can do. I think you can always start by joining the Kansas Principals Association. And an amazing opportunity that we offer is in November. We have our Kansas Principals Association conference every year. And I think that's a great time. Your evaluations are ending. A lot of that kind of hustle and bustle of the school year, your fall sports are coming to an end. And it's a way just to get out of the office and go attend a conference. We typically have amazing guest speakers. We've got a lot of principals and other experts around our state that give little mini learning sessions. And it's just a way to go and hear different perspectives, talk to some colleagues that are even outside of your league. I always think of secondary principals. We're a little lucky because we have monthly league meetings or whatever that looks like. But when you're an elementary school principal, you don't always have that opportunity or that luxury. And so just taking that and coming to our conference, that's every November, I think is a great way. And just finding other principals, whether that's in your league if you're a secondary educator, principal, or an elementary principal, maybe asking the high school principal to kind of connect you with a few other principals, so that way you've got that lifeline, those people to laugh with, to cry with sometimes, or just to kind of jostle ideas off of one another.
That November conference is my favorite. I love the KPA conference, and I do come from a bigger district, but that's what I love about it is connecting with people outside the district. Sometimes being in a big district, you start to rely on the network you have within, which is great, and feel fortunate with that. But there's so much value into connecting across districts, across zones, across state, and that conference really lends itself to that. So, one final question. Oh,
and it's November 5th and 6th this year, and it's always in Wichita. And if you go to kansasprincipals.org or you just Google the KPA Conference 2026, all the information pops up, including the registration links and everything. But it is a really good time, and I highly encourage people to check it out.
Yeah, and I will link that in the show notes. It really is good. I was fortunate to be able to go with all of our middle school principals from my district last year, and most of them had not attended before. And when we came back and debriefed on it, it was like, Rick, this is the best conference, truly, just there's so much value in it. And it's like, yeah, it's right here in the state. Sometimes we think we got to go across the country to go hit a conference. Like, no, we've got a really great conference here, just down the road here from us in Wichita. So we are starting the school year. And just because this episode is going to post right before teachers return in most districts, Kelly, what is the vibe you hope to achieve as teachers come back? That pre-service, there's always so much. It always feels like there's so much to get in and not enough time. And it can be business. But how do you balance all of that? And ultimately, what's the vibe you're hoping to bring into 26, 27?
Absolutely. I think I always want to bring that vibe that kids matter and kids come first. And any activities that we can do just to remind teachers or welcome the new teachers to the culture that we try to have here at Ottawa High School. We try to be super positive. We want school to be somewhere kids feel seen, loved, and heard, and where they want to come every day, right? Even sometimes they get sad and don't want to leave us for the summer. And so just kind of reminding teachers of that culture that they have helped created, and doing anything that we can in the midst of all the new learning and the curriculum professional developments to just revive that and let them enjoy each other. I always enjoy giving teachers time to talk and communicate and share what they did over the summer, because I think all of that reconnects them and it gets us ready to do that hard work for the next school year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I do want to give you a chance to talk to our KPA members and prospective KPA members, but a couple quick hitters. I'm going to run through. I've got bullet points here. You've not seen these. None of these are hot seat stuff. Maybe I should. But no thinking. You just got to answer here.
All right, I'll do my best.
Early arrival or staying late?
Oh, I'm definitely stay late.
Coffee or Diet Coke?
Diet Coke.
Strict schedule or flexible flow?
Has to be a flexible flow when you're a principal.
Clipboard or mental notes?
Sticky notes, so clipboard.
Parent phone call or parent email?
Much prefer a parent phone call.
Sneakers or dress shoes?
I'm definitely a Nike Dunk kind of Jordan girl, so I like my sneakers.
Isn't it great that that's become more and more acceptable in our
Yes.
profession? It's like, I don't feel bad anymore. I'm going to wear comfortable shoes, darn it.
Exactly, and get some street cred with the teenagers while we're at it.
Yeah. That's why we do it, right? It's
Exactly. So why I justify the purchase my husband sees on the credit card.
Yeah, like it's a professional expense.
It is.
Let's see. Hire for experience or hire for potential?
Hire for potential.
Calm and steady or high energy?
I'm definitely high energy. Any of my friends who know me would probably agree with that.
Long weekend or snow day?
Oh, I'm going to go snow day because those are unexpected.
Yeah.
And that unexpected break's kind of nice.
Let's see. One big initiative or several small ones?
I like several small things because I feel like that's how you move the culture in your building.
I like that. Okay. And let's see. Email inbox is 0 or it's controlled chaos.
It's controlled chaos.
All right, I can relate to
I actually just had two people that were over my shoulders last week, and they told me that my email was giving them anxiety.
Yeah.
And so well, good thing it's not yours.
My email is like my own little search engine. I mean, I just type a search bar in there, like, oh yeah, that 2023 email, there it is.
Exactly.
Let's see. So a little, I wouldn't say harder, but a little more meaty of questions here. But the hardest conversation that you have as a leader is usually with who?
I think teachers, when you're just giving them, maybe some reflective feedback, or you have some reflective questions, or you're even having to question them just because you need more information about a situation. It's always hard. It's always hard when an educator feels like you're questioning them.
Yeah. The moment you realized you were actually a leader was when?
I think probably 8 years ago when I moved from an assistant principal role to a principal role. I remember having moments where I was like, wow, like I have to make this decision. I don't just get to be the backup quarterback given the ideas. And if the decision doesn't tumble down the hill well, I'm like, oh, sorry, bad advice. But I think that was when I came to the principal seat. That's when life got real.
It gets real.
It gets real.
What does nobody tell you about being a principal?
Oh, I think all the little things, Rick, like I think about you and you're going through a construction project. I think that nobody really prepares you for how much your community impacts your building, right? Like whatever it is, if there's a political moment going on in our country, in your community, how much that impacts you. And I just think they don't prepare you for. Our job can be really rewarding and really fun if you are truly invested in the community where you work. And if you aren't invested in the community, you can get burnt out really fast. You can get annoyed really easily. And our jobs can be no fun at all. And so I think those are things that people just don't tell you about it. But they're also not negative things. They can be very positive.
Yeah, you mentioned politics, and like I'm a former social studies teacher. I always find so interesting just politics, all those things. And it's interesting when something surfaces in culture, and of course schools reflect culture, and it makes its way into school.
Mm-hmm.
We get accused of being one side or the other, and often over the same issue. We're accused by one side of being the other side and vice versa.
Right.
And I just want to say, like, do you think I have any interest in bringing politics into school? Like, this is not what we are wanting to be, working with. And I wish people would realize how much we work to really try to be that. We're a public school serving everybody, and
the mediator, the neutral party.
We're not interested in being a lightning rod for some political issue. Anyway, So, and the last one here is really geared for your parents. What's something you wish your parents understood about Ottawa High School?
I wish that my parents really understood how hard large majority of my teachers work, how much they love their children. They show up for them not just during their contract hour, but above and beyond. And then take that even into those that choose to coach and do activities, just all that they do for their students during the school year, not because of the paycheck, not because they need they want that extra money, but they do all of that because they really do love and care about their students. And my students are hard sometimes, but my teachers really do love them and they have an open mind. And I'm always proud that we have more liberal grading practices and kind of just an attitude about how we handle kids at the high school in my district than we do at the middle school, which to me that's like a compliment to them because they are really willing to see kids for who they are, meet them where they are, and then help them get where they need to be. And I really wish my parents would see that about my staff.
Awesome. Great words there. All right, Kelly, you are the president of the Kansas Principals Association. Want to give you an opportunity to just share a message to our members, but also to prospective members who might be just considering or new to the profession. Like, what is this KPA all about? But what would you like to say to them?
Absolutely. I just would like to tell people that, one, I'm humbled and honored to be the president of our organization. I think the more of us, the more voices that we get to the table and can talk to about joining our organization, the better off we are. It's really about your learning, it's about engaging, and it's about advocacy. We hope to do a lot of new things this year around advocacy. We actually want to host one of our board of director meetings in Topeka in February, to where we can go and speak with some of our representatives, get a tour of all the things that are happening down in Topeka. And our own Todd Dane, he's on the National Principals Association board of directors. He really encouraged all of us last year to be principal for a day and invite your representatives into your building. And we want to just continue to kind of springboard off of all of that work and help every single one of the principals in the state of Kansas understand how important their voice is and how much their voice matters in advocacy. And so I really, step one is we got to get you to join. Step two, once you join, come and take part in all the wonderful things that our organization has to offer. I promise you're going to meet some of your colleagues from around the state that you will learn immense amounts of information from. And I personally have some of my best friends in Kansas are other principals that I've met through the association. Some of them have retired, they've moved on to the superintendency, but it really does allow you to have a big network in our state that sometimes feels like we're days apart from each other, from the western side to the eastern side.
Yeah, and not just learn from each other, but that continued relationship. I mean, I can't count how many times I've texted any of the principals that I've met through the KPA. You yourself, we've exchanged references and different things. And the networking can't be overstated, but certainly so many opportunities within the KPA. And really a big one is November. I can't say enough. I know I'm a biased podcast host for the KPA, but truly, it is a fantastic conference. And I've been to national conferences and I've been to other conferences, and this really is, and it's great because you're right next to people who are sharing the same role in the same state. We have different lenses, but we share a lot of the same challenges. So. It's really great.
It's great ideas. I think I don't know that I've ever in 7 years walked away from a Kansas Principals Association with at least one idea that I've heard from another principals. And sometimes that's principals at 6A schools all the way down to 1A schools. I think no matter what your size is, people have great ideas, great things to offer that you can always learn from and take back to your own building.
Well, Kelly, thank you for taking the time. I know it's busy. We were talking before we hit record. You've got things coming to you, and you're pushing people off to be on this podcast. So thank you for kicking off season 3 and for sharing some really good words for the principals of Kansas.
Thank you for having me, Rick, and thank you for your continued efforts in this. I can't believe it's already season 3. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Check the notes section for more information on this episode and to learn more about the KPA and its mission to develop and support all principals through optimized learning, collaborative leadership, networking, and service. Be sure to check back in for our next episode and spread the word about Cool Coffee with Kansas Principals. Catch you next time.